Drop.
Oh no, wrong button. Hey guys, how's everybody doing this evening? Welcome to the Debuffed EverQuest Next podcast. We'd like to welcome back our guild leader Steelheart and our EXO Liette. Welcome everybody. I haven't done this in a while. It's been like 2 weeks. I went to Disneyland, but I'm back to talk about EverQuest until the next holiday comes around. And so we have a few things to talk about this evening. Not big news, but just some cool things to talk about from the roundtable and the responses. And so we'll jump right into it. And we have two roundtable questions that we get to answer or speculate on this week. And the first one, I don't know how important this question is. I don't know if you guys saw it, but the first question, which large races are you most thankful for? So what do you guys think about this question? Is it an important one? I wouldn't even think twice about something like this.
I was disappointed barbarians weren't in there.
Oh, I know.
It's
maybe they're not large enough.
Maybe not, or maybe they're calling them giants. Nah, but I played a barbarian for years in the original EverQuest, so I've got a soft spot for them. But if I can't have barbarians as a choice, giants all the way. How cool are giants? I mean, ice giants, frost giants, hill giants, fire giants, whatever type of giant you want. Giants.
Sand giants. I think it's
sand giants. Oasis of Mars.
Yes,
sand giants.
Oasis of Mars.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
I mean, good memories.
Yeah. I know. Like, what I didn't understand was why are Ixar on here?
Apparently, they're a large race.
Maybe, I guess, compared to barbarians. Maybe they're.
I never considered them a large race.
Maybe they're like
Me either.
dinosaurs now or something. They're like.
Yeah, maybe they've gotten bigger.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Okay. So, which large race are you most thankful for, Liette?
It was a tough one, and I had to go with trolls. Because I'm sorry, there is nothing more fun than a big, ugly, dumb, I know I'm stereotyping, but really, it's hilarious troll. They eat things nobody else wants to eat. They're kind of like your walking giant goats. It's great, and they're green. You can make them as hideous as you want, and they'll look like a normal troll because they're ugly. It's cool. So,
especially in EQ1. I remember going. Was it Guck? Going to Guck and everything. Oh man, those trolls and the trolls in EQ1 were so ugly. It was like a big square with an ugly face.
And they were always scratching their butt.
That's true.
Exactly.
That's true. I hope they keep that animation.
That would be awesome.
And now you're going to be able to use the the face tracker thing, whatever, and scratch your butt with your face tracker.
Yeah, imagine the faces. What do you do when you scratch your butt? Oh.
Yeah.
I mean,
there you go. There you go. We'll send that in right there with this with this round table. One of my favorite races was Ixar, but I don't consider them a large race. But I know they put this up just for Thanksgiving. But I've always liked the Ixar. Always liked my Ixar monk with the two staves of shielding. Remember that? And you always had to not carry any coin because you weigh too heavy and stuff. So I'm most thankful for the Ixar, even though I don't consider them a large race. But my favorite looking would probably be the ogres. I always thought they just looked massive and ugly, but I always appreciated it when the tank was an ogre because that's easy to click on. They're big old. You can find them right there. Yep. Especially what was it, a shaman or? Which class could make people bigger?
Shaman.
Yes, definitely.
Could shrink some too, couldn't he?
Yeah. For some reason, you're a little quiet now, Steel. I don't know why.
How about now?
Okay, a little louder.
There we go.
All right. Okay, so that was just a silly question. But for the next one, for content that requires multiple players to complete, such as dungeons, how would you like to group up? So they gave us 4 options. One was just, I don't have a preference. The first one, though, is I only want to complete small group content with pre-formed groups. Second, I want the option to complete small group content with pre-formed groups or to be randomly matched up with other players. And the game should create groups based on matched user preferences or content needs. So, what do we prefer?
I'm old school, so I kind of like having to do your looking for group shout out and everything like that, and it brings back memories. But I'm also a realist. There just comes a time, whether it's a time or day or whatever you're doing, that it is nice to be able to jump somebody into your group. So I would definitely want to have both. I think it would work the best.
Yeah, definitely. And that seems to be what most people are considering. It's like, okay, everybody wants a preformed group, right? You want to run with your guild or your friends or whatever. But then you want the other random content, like maybe like the public quest or the I always keep forgetting what EverQuest next is calling them. Do you guys remember? Public
No.
Community events?
No, it's not that. No, I feel bad. But where you can just run in and all of a sudden you're completing a quest with everybody else and you don't have to group up or whatever. So,
like Rift did. Rift did that.
Rift and Guild Wars 2 and
Yep.
And poor rest in peace Warhammer first started with the public quest and everything. But most people agree with that, and I think that's a simple question, right? You want your private groups, but then you also want to be able to just run around and group with strangers, and maybe not necessarily be in a group, but complete content together.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so definitely. Okay, so now
As long
on.
as we can go to public rating.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah, public rating. Oh, please no. I think in World of Warcraft what is it? They're looking for raid. I think that's enough. Raiding with strangers.
I heard they're actually doing away with that. I don't know how true that is.
I'm not sure either. But let's talk about EverQuest next. So on the roundtable responses, they've had 2 since the last time we've been on. And the first one, or number 15, was how do you like to consume lore? So first of all, do you guys pay attention to lore in the games? Do you consume it, or how would you like?
Go ahead.
I like picking it up as I go through questing, and seeing the world change, based on what I interact with it, and seeing the NPCs' responses to events as well. So much as I'm okay in some games picking up a book and reading it, I'm there to play and be part of the action. So I like seeing it happen.
Yeah. How about you, Stu?
I'm more of a visual person. I like a short little video or something. Maybe 10, 20 seconds is fine. But I'm more of a visual person in the aspect that, like in EverQuest 1, you'd be running around and you would see a statue out in the middle of nowhere, and it's like, man, that looks neat. I wonder what the history behind this is. Or like in the city of Pharaoh-Nevi, it had the big statue of Pharaoh-Nevi right there. And it's like, well, okay, this is cool. Some more backstory on this would be really, really neat. So I know they've got books out and everything like that, and I'm going to read them. But I'm more of a visual person.
I keep saying that too. I'm going to read them.
Yeah, and I like to take my lore in visually.
Yeah, and that seems to be kind of the majority of the people would say is they don't want like a certain way to consume it, so they don't want cutscenes or like just cutscenes or just quest text or just you see it happen or just books or whatever, but kind of everything, like a nice mix of everything. Because okay, you're gonna go to this quest, have a short cutscene or no cutscene at all, or just see it happen. But they describe kind of how it's going to happen in EverQuest next. They said that most are tired of just one avenue. So if one thing I had a problem with playing Final Fantasy XIV was my first 5 minutes in the game was watching a cutscene. I was like, man, get me in this game. Like I want
Right
to
in
play.
a box.
Yeah, I want to play. And so they said they're gonna have everything. There's books in the game, so when you're in the game, you just come upon a book, kind of like Elder Scrolls, like in Skyrim. You can read about the lore. You don't have to, but you can if you want to. It's going to be there for you. Got the books online that they're already putting out if you want to be able to consume it outside of the game. But also, it's going to happen in front of you, because the way EverQuest Next works is there's not going to be any need for clicking on quest bubbles or whatever, or watching a cutscene, because the story is dynamic in a sense, because we're going to make it happen. So whether the orcs take over this town is going to depend on us, right? And so the story could be the orcs took over the town because nobody came and saved the day, or they could say the story of grievance, they took over the town because the orcs were attacking and they saved everybody and pushed them back, and then they went into the cave and killed the ogre king. And so that could be the story for our server. And so they mentioned, because of this dynamic way they're going to display this content, every server might have a different story as far as the way the world played out. So how does that sound to you guys?
That's really cool.
Yeah, I was like,
I
what?
love. Now I will tell you this. One thing I would like to see is lore opening up some of these stories. For instance, you find a book in game, you pick it up, and you read it, and it says something about a sealed cave, and gives a riddle or whatever. You're like, well, hey, wait a minute. I remember something that looked like a boulder sitting in front of a cave, under a tree or something like that, and go over there and you open that boulder, and maybe then all those orcs pour out.
Yeah.
And
or now you can crash through it. You can mine
exactly,
right through it. Yeah.
exactly. So I would actually, for people who really, really throw themselves into the lore, I would really like to see there be a benefit for the community on that server, that they open something up or start a quest chain, or maybe even a little personal something to reward them for exploring that lore.
Yeah. And it's really exciting. They say it's more like watching a movie. Like when you watch a movie, and so you don't need. I mean, you might get a trailer or whatever, but if you go to the movies and you just say, "Hey, I'm going to watch this movie," you don't have to read a book, right, before you go see a movie to actually understand what's going on in the movie. You pretty much find out what's going on the way through the movie. And so the same thing with EverQuest Next. They're saying is you're going to get dropped in, and you can read more. You can get more in depth about what's going on, but just because of what's going on around you, you're going to be able to figure that out. And so, Liette, what do you think of maybe the possibilities of different servers having different stories or different outcomes?
Good luck to the devs keeping up with all that. Props to y'all. But as long as generally it's going in the same direction, I think they'll be in good shape. I love the idea of, how that can impact a particular server community. How neat if one server unlocks a quest chain in a really, really different way than, say, the next two servers. I think that's really cool. It gives the game a lot of staying power, because how unique is that experience for your players? Yeah. And especially to be able to get to compare over the forums and go, well, we opened up this raid last week, but it took us 5 days of working out this weird long quest chain. Yeah, have y'all got that yet? And they go, nope. You go, well, I'm not telling you. That's pretty fun. So.
Yeah, I can imagine it maybe being like smaller things, maybe not like world-changing things. I'm not sure, but I remember them talking about at SOE Live about how there's going to be they had that example of they're building this city, and so part of like the month-long quest is helping build this city, fend off the orcs from the city and everything, and you can push them back and stuff. But what if there's a server that doesn't do that and they help the orcs out? All of a sudden in one server that city exists, and then our server the city exists, and to me, it's like, like you said, Leah, like how are they going to keep track of all this on separate servers? And then so if that city doesn't exist on one and does on the other, like how does that affect the future of how they plan out content releases? And I'm not sure, but we'll see. Maybe they'll just take a city from EQ Landmark and just plop it somewhere.
Or maybe it's an orc city now. You
Yeah.
know, if they
No,
took
that's
over
true.
the territory, maybe it's a really different area and they get a new dungeon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How cool is that?
Yeah.
that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or only bad classes can use it, or if you're a bad player, you can use it, and so it becomes an evil city instead of a good city. Or
See,
Could
props
be.
to the trolls.
yeah.
Good.
Could you imagine Freeport being a good city?
That'd be neat.
I don't know.
I'd totally decorate it with glitter. Just out of spite.
Just Freeport. You like that?
Oh gosh.
Yes, you have to say it like that. So each server is going to have a different story because of this, and you can seek the in-depth stuff if you want to online or in the books in the game. But as far as seeing it happen in front of you, I like that. It's not gonna. You're gonna log in a month from now from that game, and it's not gonna look the same. And you might have a different story to tell from. I know there's not gonna be alts, but someone who starts the game 2 months after you is gonna have a different experience going through the game than you did. Maybe because of something you did. Who knows? So our second.
That's a good experience.
Yeah, hopefully it's a good experience. Hopefully you just didn't skip everything and there's orcs everywhere and they can't get through the content. But the next one they talked about was, and we had a chance to talk about it, was the time of day, and so the day and night cycle. And I know this is a big one for us EQ1 fans because of nighttime and Nectulos and everything. But if you had a chance to watch it, they basically said that it will, or they basically said that everybody wanted it to be more dangerous at night. They're just like all of us, like we really love that aspect of it. And so are you excited that most people agree with us?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, how you remember what it was? I remember my first time going in Kithakora Forest, and I was running through there. I ran through there during the day, found the entrance to the Dark Elf Village, camped out right there in that cave doorway, whatever it was. I remember when I came back next day and logged in, everybody was standing at the cave and it was dark. Well, something clued in on me. There were a lot of characters right there waiting. So I asked, what's everybody doing here? Oh, you don't want to run out here in dark. Took their word for it.
Yeah.
Only years later did I actually go there during the dark. But I mean that got to be a pretty hairy run. You looked at your time and you're like, "Oh, I think I can make it. Just stay here. I can make it. I can make it." It was Highhold Pass. Was it Highhold?
Oh yeah. Going up
Yeah.
to Hidehold Keep.
Yeah,
and-
going to Highhold Keep. And I remember you'd look at your time and you'd be like, "Yeah, just enough time. I think I can make it." And you'd go, but you didn't go there during the night. And I mean, how cool was that real feeling of fear
Yeah.
of losing your corpse for the whole night cycle of that game?
Yeah. Or if you wanted to travel at night, you just stayed on the zone line. You'd stay on the very edge of the mountain and you'd run to the tree. And you're like, okay, this is the only way I'm going to get past this. And you hopefully had people with you. Like, just keep running. You could see like the skeleton running behind you or whatever. But they mentioned the same thing, that everyone enjoyed that. But one thing is that they're not going to do is have the pitch black darkness.
Well, I mean,
So
we
that
all
you can't
turned
see.
up our gamma anyway.
Yeah, exactly. We did it anyways.
We
But-
turned up our gamma anyway in it and just played in Shades of Grey for the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, to see at nighttime, and they said that just makes sense because they don't want to make a zone not playable for people. I mean, it's going to be more dangerous at night, and so they said only certain creatures are going to come out at night as opposed to during the day. And then same thing with NPCs or people. Only like the nefarious or the bad people will be out at night. And so if you're looking for the Shadow Knight class person or whatever, obviously he's not going to be hanging out in the middle of the day or somewhere or whatever. He might be somewhere at night, or someone that asks you to do evil things. It's going to only come out at night. And what do you guys think of this? Imagine this with the dynamic AI that we just talked about with the lore. How is this going to combine to make it a unique experience compared to what we have now in our theme park MMOs?
Really, really fun. I love the AI that have lives of their own, and if this sweet little merchant who sells my bottles of water so I don't constantly hear, "You are thirsty, you are thirsty, you are thirsty," isn't around at night, that's okay. That's cool, you know? And I might have to buy it from that creepy dude down in the alley. I don't know if that's smart or not, but I'd really like to find out. So I think adding that kind of neat intelligent system is very fun and makes for a lot of events. You know, in the future, perhaps I can imagine lots of weird things happening because certain NPCs are not available. So yeah, I think they've given themselves a lot of flexibility, and it's going to be fun.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
really going to be neat. I mean, the possibilities are truly endless. The sweet little merchant could actually be some evil warlock at night, you know, doing some sort of ritual. You come up to buy your water, and it's like, "Excuse me, never mind."
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
I didn't realize you did this at nighttime.
Yeah, side hobby, huh?
Wait,
Yeah,
you're really a sheep?
Yeah.
Oh.
See, that would be cool though. Like during the daytime, if you actually talk to them, you can actually tell that okay, there's something not right here, and then you come back at night, and all of a sudden, oh, there's something completely different going on here.
No doubt.
Yeah, and that's what I look forward to, because I mean, in every MMO right now, you just walk up to the same people, same quest. Doesn't matter what it is or what it is, it's gonna look exactly the same as it did before. And so I don't know if I can think of other games that nighttime from daytime changes. The zone.
Elder Scrolls.
Elder Scrolls. Oh, I
Yeah,
mean,
they started that in Oblivion,
okay,
but not an MMO.
yeah, not an
obviously.
MMO. Besides EverQuest, had kind of
That's
something
the
different happen.
one I can think of.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Like, you think it would happen? It would have happened since EverQuest. That nighttime would be a little different.
Sure, WoW probably has something like that.
I don't know.
I
I
haven't
don't
heard
think
of
so.
it.
I think it's also a really brave move because it's a convenience factor for players.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, if you can only play at certain times of the day and you're stuck at night and you're having a hard time, you're probably going to get a little bit frustrated. But no,
Or
I
maybe
think
that's when
that'll.
all the cool stuff happens. That's when all the cool quests or the cool
All the
public
cool
quests.
kids come out.
Yeah, it's like, okay, this certain dragon only comes through the forest at this time, and so all of a sudden
That's right.
you
That'd
have
be
this
cool.
epic fight going
More
on with this
portals
dragon.
open into the world.
Yeah.
If you can't hack it alone, get a good guild. Go out there and explore a little bit.
Yeah, and
Yep.
and with the destruction and everything, this dragon's gonna come through all the trees and knock down all the trees, or that giant mech. Just imagine. I can't even imagine like how things are gonna happen and stuff. But like with the destruction and rate, like imagine 40 people at a public quest trying to fight like that mech at nighttime or whatever. Like what the ground's gonna look like, and people are gonna fall through the earth, and then it's gonna be even scarier because it'll be nighttime in a cave and you can't see. And then Strieg mentioned he misses torches. Remember when you had to carry torches everywhere just so you can see?
Gamma Street. Turn up Gamma.
Turn up the gamma. I remember I didn't know about the gamma when I first started because I was like 12 years old or whatever when I first played EverQuest. I don't want you to feel old, Steel. But I was 12 when I played Kunark, and I got stuck in a tunnel because I had no idea how to get out of the stupid tunnel because I couldn't see. So it took me a while until I looked up online that I could turn up the gamma, and so I was finally able to get out the tunnel. So I created a new character because my stupid guy was stuck in a tunnel.
Well, you know,
Actually
it's
get out of it.
ironic you say that because my experience was in a tunnel, and it was calling up Trask and saying, well, I won't repeat what I said. I was talking about the
You're all
game at
right.
that point in time, after 20 minutes trying to get out of a flipping tunnel, and he says, well, just turn up the gamma. Okay.
Yeah, and I think most people
Life got better.
yeah, most MMO players know that now, and it was so different back then when we were playing that there's so many MMOs out now and so many different people. They're obviously not going to want to shut off people that want to play EverQuest just because they want it to be dark at night. But it is going to be different. Now, a little twist, they said that it might not necessarily mean nighttime is more dangerous. They said daytime might be the more dangerous time, like that's when all the bandits come out or whatever. And so what do you think about that little twist of turning the tables? It's safer to go at night.
I'd say it'd be, well, you can't really say zone specific, but area specific. Like with your bandits, if you're along a long highway, like let's say North Carolina, and you're traveling down the highway, then it may be more dangerous during the day with bandits out there. Or if you're going through, once again, Kithcore Forest, nice, peaceful during the day, fairies here, halflings here, during the night, undead. So I would say it would be regional, area specific.
Yeah, I remember in EQ2 is it Antonica? Not Antonica, what's Antonica? Yeah, when you first go out and there's like, I remember over by all the scarecrows and stuff when the game first came out, and you'd go out to there was like this path, and it had like 2 mountains on the side of it, and you go through the path, and all of a sudden when you first walk through it, all of a sudden these bandits would pop out. And so that's what I imagine being like expanded like during the daytime, was like these bandits are going to attack you and stuff, but at night obviously they're camping. Yeah, you remember that too? That pissed me off.
Well,
I was just like, oh, look at this safe
quest. I think it was part of a quest, if I remember correctly. But if you just happened to be going through that area at the same time somebody was going through it on the quest, you got to participate in helping kill a few bandits, whether you wanted to or not.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, man, I was just running through there. I just wanted to go to the next zone, and I got ambushed. So yeah, but they did mention it would be. It's almost like real life. Like at nighttime, it's a little scarier. That's when you want to be more careful, right? And so it should feel the same in MMO. If you're walking through town, it's going to be a little more dangerous. There might be someone around the corner that's going to stab you in the back, or there might be, I don't know, in real life we're not going to have a troll standing around the corner or in the forest, but you get what I'm saying.
I don't know about
that. Depends on what forest. Bigfoot or Sasquatch might be there.
Once again, remember this land is supposed to be unbelievably huge from all accounts that we've heard. So, I mean, really, the dynamics of going from one type of geography to another, to another, to another, and not to mention player creation here, player creation there. This is really going to be cool. I mean, you could even design something that looks spookier at night but innocent during the day just by the design.
And what shadows it casts.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like with this design for day and night, they're not only making 2 games with EverQuest Next and EverQuest Next Landmark, they're making 2 games with an EverQuest Next, because you're going to get such different experiences versus day and night, depending on where you are. And I think it's going to really make you learn the game a little better and where everything is, because you're going to need to know just to stay alive. Or to pick up that important quest. So, really neat.
But then supposedly, like, if you go through an area at nighttime and there's enough people going through there killing those bandits and stuff, eventually that area will be safe at night, right? Kind of like the same thing if there's a lot of police officers at night around a certain town or whatever, that area won't have as many crimes or whatever. So,
or if it's a less traveled area, that may be a little overpopulated.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
I want to know what happens though if you find where the bandits are camping, along the road, and you take them out there.
Well, then there just won't be any more bandits. They'll move, or supposedly they'll move somewhere else, right? They'll move to where
bandits will go, probably to another road.
Yeah, another road less traveled.
Traveled.
And so then there will be me again, all running around thinking I'm all safe, and then you get ambushed again. So it like, to me it just seems, I keep saying it's mind-boggling, but it is, with this dynamic questing system and the day and night cycle and how the world's going to change, and not only with the destruction and everything. It's like, how are they going to do this? Do you think they can do it? It sounds too good, right?
I'm a firm believer if you can imagine it, you can find a way to do it eventually.
Yeah.
So we've seen each of these MMOs over the span between the original EverQuest and before that to present. Each adds something different to the game. We saw the dynamic, well, not really dynamic, but the rifts in Rift, which would appear, obvious they would spawn in set places, but we saw them. We've seen it in Defiance. It is very possible that this will feel like a living and breathing world. Won't know till we get in there, but it's very possible.
Yeah. Wasn't it EverQuest 2 that had the motto of like you're in our world now? Or
Yep.
Yeah. And so I think that would feel more like it, especially if there's no zones. No zoning. Kind of like PlanetSide 2, you just go all over the continent and everything. And you don't zone and everything, it's the same engine. And so it's just, you're going to run around, you're not going to click anything, but you're just going to experience the world, and it's going to change all the time. That'd be cool.
Yeah,
Alright.
awesome.
Any other thoughts?
I'm excited.
Very.
Hope we get into Landmark soon.
I know. Yeah, we're going to get into... Like, the crazy thing is, we're going to be able to create our own kind of scenario like that in Landmark, right? Eventually. I mean, we'll have the tools to build the area, and then eventually we'll get the tools to build the quest, or the public quest, or whatever, and the NPCs, and the pathing, and everything.
That
and so,
would really be cool.
Yeah. So we can create our own
You can
Nectulas
clear your
forest.
pass. You
Yeah.
can have them on either side of the pass, but you can clear the pass.
Yeah, yeah. I can have my own pass that is safe, and I won't get attacked by any bandits. But anyways, so in other news, they just sent out, especially for Christmas, around the holidays and Black Friday and everything, you can now gift Founders Packs to people. So anybody planning on buying $100 Founder Pack for anybody? I think it was only the $20 one. I don't know if you can gift the $100 one yet, but
I may gift a couple 20s
yeah,
to some friends. I may.
yeah.
Just kind of prod them. But, nah, I'm not gifting too many $100 packs. I
Yeah,
can't
exactly.
afford that.
Well, I mean, you get some beta keys, right, with the Founder. I mean, it's only a week-long beta key, but at least you can give those out, and so you can say that's part of my giving.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
yeah, because if you want someone just to test it out with you, then they can play it, and then eventually the game will be out by the time that 1 week's over or whatever. We'll
We're
see.
going to have a lot of keys and grievance, too.
Yeah, I know. I don't.
It's going to be amazing.
Do you have any estimate of how many Trailblazer packs we have in the guild?
I would say
Lots.
Lots.
between 40 and 50 Trailblazer packs, from best I can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a matter of fact, I think we may have up to 10 of the what is it, the Pathfinder, or the what's the middle pack called?
The Settlers, not the Settlers. Something.
Pathfinder, wasn't it? Well, the middle pack anyway.
The Settlers was the small one, I think.
Right. I think we have about less than 10 of those, but it's amazing enough, we've got between 40 and 50 Trailblazer packs.
Yeah.
A lot of the old diehard EQ players came out and said, you know what, this is EverQuest. I don't know if it's going to be good. I don't know if it's going to be bad. It's going to be good, by the way. But I'm going to go ahead and get the Founders Pack.
Yeah, exactly. I think
I mean,
I don't think any of us cared. Like, even if the game looked terrible, we're like, it's EverQuest. We're just hoping, like, I'll give you my $100. Make this game.
That's right. I'm going to give you $100.
Yeah,
And then I'm
please.
probably going to give you another 100 to 200 when EverQuest Next sells their Founder Pack.
Yeah, exactly. It's like get into
Actually,
alpha for
that one's
EverQuest
a
next.
box.
Yeah.
I want a box for EverQuest Next.
Oh, I know exactly. Like, with this, it's just all online stuff. You get a fancy thing in the game, but I want like a giant statue or something. I don't
Y'all see I'm cleaning out the room over here. I'm about to put up all my collector's boxes that I've gotten from all these different games.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna like build your fort or a castle over there or something, and you're
Castle's coming.
You're practicing for Landmark in the
No
background.
doubt. No doubt. When do you think that we're going to hear about
Next
Alpha
week.
starting? You think next week?
I I hope.
I don't think it's going to start next week, but when do you think they're going to say, hey, this is when we're looking for alpha to start?
I'm hoping sometime before the Christmas week. I'm hoping they say, look, you can look forward to then, or we just randomly get an email. You're in alpha, enjoy during the holidays or whatever. But I doubt they're gonna let us in before Christmas, because that means they'd all have to hang around, right?
No,
And
I
it's just
honestly
during
think we
Christmas.
would have heard about it by now if it was going to be Christmas.
Well,
I
I
hope
don't-
it's a little
but
forewarning.
I don't know if they're gonna announce when alpha's happening, right? Do you think they will?
I think they will. I think if only to test the login server to begin with or whatever they
But
use.
I mean, like, because just announce it like over everywhere are out. I guess they would, because then that would encourage
then
people
send
to
an
buy
email.
No, but I
Yeah.
mean, like, formally, like on media and stuff, to say, hey, you can get in the
Oh,
game
yeah.
now. Spend $100 and you can play Landmark right
Spend
now.
$100 and you can get in 2 days early.
Yeah, and you can't talk about it.
And you can't talk about it.
So I'm hoping
But
we
you
hear
can
something.
say you bought a Trailblazer pack, so read into
Yeah.
that what you will.
Yeah. I am in. That's what you can say, pretty much.
Say, I bought a Trailblazer pack.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's it. So yeah, what about you, Liette? What do you think? When will we hear?
Ooh, hopefully not when I am on vacation without my computer.
I know, exactly.
Um,
That's what's gonna happen to me. I'm going somewhere.
Better not, or I'm buying a
But,
computer
Yeah.
while I'm out running.
Need a laptop.
Yeah,
Really
yeah, it would happen.
Yep.
It might get returned, but whatever. Or who knows? It might be gifted to my mother. She could use a laptop. But yeah, I would think they'll give us a heads up. They have so many people who bought the Trailblazer pack. I think they'd be really ticked off if they didn't get some kind of heads up. Even if it's an email, hey, within the next 3 days, you will get your code and your link to get in. Brace yourself. Yay, go team.
Yeah.
I don't think they're just going to say, you can get in now, because they're going to tick off a lot of folks.
And I really hope it's not like a weekend thing. Like, you're in this weekend. It's like, I hope they open it up and you're in. Like, playing alpha, build. And in one of the roundtables, they did mention, like, most of us are understanding that when we buy these founder packs, that we're going to get in this game and it's going to be a broken game. But we don't care, because we like EverQuest so much that we're willing to jump in and test it and find all the bugs and build stuff.
I
and
don't know if it'd be possible for it to be broken. I mean, it's pretty much a creation game.
He says that until he falls through the world. Oh, I guess.
That's expected.
You
But
dig,
you know
dig
what?
down and you're
I
like,
think
I
I'm
wonder
gonna
where this
fall
cave goes, and you just keep falling.
Well, remember you have layers. Maybe you'll stop once you get down to the lava layer.
Lava there. Maybe.
Might not like it.
What
but
if there's no lava? You just fall through. There's no lava yet.
I'm sure it's going to have its bugs. They all do.
Yeah.
You can only create so much and make sure everything you've done works. But that's why you get the players in there to take a look at it, destroy it, build something on top of it. It's that's just what it's about.
Yeah. I'm hoping it's before Christmas, but like part of me wants to say it's going to be after the new year, because WildStar is going to have their big old hubbub about their beta and everything this winter.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think they're going to wait until after Christmas and then be like, okay, it's our turn. Like, here's our hype about everything.
Or it might be the week of New Year's. I think that would be pretty sweet. Unless everybody's done traveling for Christmas by then. So week after Christmas, please, would work really well.
Or next week. That would work
I
really
would,
well for me too.
if I had to guess, I would say if it's going to happen early, it'll be sometime in January. They'll make the announcement mid-December, and it will start after the holidays. I mean, why do you want to punish your employees right at the last second? Say, oh,
Right.
hey, you're working over Christmas.
Yeah. Well, that's what
Merry
WildStar is
Christmas to
doing,
you,
right?
not ha.
Plus, you got to pay them holiday pay. So,
Yeah.
it's probably
But
most
when
likely.
you got to get a game out, you got to get a game out, right?
Yep. But this is just an alpha.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's not a launch.
Kinda.
We were very surprised when SWTOR launched right before Christmas. That was very surprising. It was an excellent excellent launch day from a marketing standpoint for the launch of a game. But as far as starting an alpha, I don't see them doing it before the new year.
Yeah.
Now we could be coming on next week saying, "Oh my God, I got to cancel my vacation." You know.
Find that laptop.
I can't see my family anymore. I gotta play. Sorry, family. I need to build.
Well, my Jeep has a plug in it.
You're brave.
Yeah. And so the only other bit of news that to encourage maybe current EQ and EQ2 players was that, you know, those fancy flags we got in the founders packs for Landmark. Well, in EQ and EQ2 with your housing, you can have a flag. Ooh, flags. So you can kind of show off to whoever goes into your instance. And you know what? Now that I mention that, that's why I think Landmark's so great, because you're gonna build something and everybody's gonna see it.
That is gonna be cool.
Not like, oh, I have my instance, and if everybody knows my name, they can click and go into my instance. But people are just gonna be walking by through the world, and they're gonna see your creation. Like, how cool is that?
And that was cool. I mean, I understand the reservations that MMOs have had up until this point about having player-created structures just in the open world. As awesome as it was in Star Wars Galaxies, as the game dried up, there were just like ghost cities. Huge, just house after house, building after building, nothing there. And the decay was so slow on them. I mean, I remember I probably put 10 years worth of credits into my house in Star Wars Galaxies, just so I wouldn't forget. I thought I'd be playing it for 10 years, to be honest.
Yeah.
But so I understand the apprehension in having static player created stuff up till this point, and even with EverQuest Landmark, and we're still not sure how much of that's going to transfer over to EverQuest Next. If they do allow any type of static player housing, player castles, or whatever in the actual EverQuest Next game, there's definitely got to be some sort of decay that's not going to make them last there forever. Or we're going to just have landscapes littered with buildings just like we had in Star Wars Galaxies.
Yeah, I'm sure there's something, but then the same thing with, like, there's so much empty space in Galaxies, but with Landmark, I mean, you could build with everything. You're gonna mess with the trees and the bushes and the mountains. You can flatten your whole land or build mountains everywhere and stuff, and so.
Oh yeah.
And you're gonna build your little questing area or your little starter zone, or
It'll be cool.
It's endless, yeah. So you're just not gonna have your little house or whatever, but you're gonna have whatever you want. So yeah, look forward to it. So anything else, you guys, before we sign up?
I just want more information.
I know.
I want to get in this game. It's killing me.
I know. I want like weekly webcast or something. Like, show us more of this Landmark, or show us.
Absolutely.
Show us someone building something like that. That's all I care. Like
the mech.
Yeah, like the mech, or like just give us a video every week of them building something. Like, I don't care if it's another castle, whatever. You just want to see how they build or whatever, right? Or I want to see someone build like like they've showed like maybe a stone castle or wood or whatever.
A wagon, something, you know.
I thought you said a wang. I was like,
a wagon.
Oh my.
Wow.
Yeah. Or like they keep mentioning, like, you can make sci-fi stuff. Why not show someone making a spaceship, or show someone making like this futuristic tower, or an ice castle or something, or a lava castle. Because we keep reading about people that have been able to play with it for a little while, and people making these things, but we just haven't seen it. So I just want a nice screenshot or something. Another trailer. I liked the last trailer. It was cool. It was pretty. So yeah. Well, thank you, Liette, for coming on, talking EverQuest.
Always happy to.
More. Yeah. Steel. Always a pleasure. And I'm Dash Shiva. And we just want to remind everybody, well, first of all, thanks for watching. If you're watching right now and you're not following us here on Twitch, just click the little follow button. Make sure to visit our YouTube channel at Grievance Gaming. You can subscribe there. Also, you can follow us on Twitter at Grievance Gaming. You can follow me at Dashiva. We're